Hello. I know some of you at the uni needed help learning how to use Toon Boom, so I thought I'd try and do some tutorials. I'll help you hopefully understand how it works. I'm gonna leave these videos unlisted because I'm not a full-on mastermind and expert at Toon Boom, so I don't want people on YouTube coming and saying I'm doing it all wrong. Unless I'm really good, then I'll make them public, but for now they'll be in an unlisted playlist that you can access. So, if you manage to get past the first screen when you're opening a file, which hopefully you did because it's quite simple. If not, then I can just explain that to you separately. But here's the main Toon Boom interface. It probably looks very scary, but it probably is because it's got a lot of different features that I don't actually know what some of these do still. But you don't need those for the most part if you're just trying to do a simple animation. So you've got your main workspace here, which you can scroll in and out with the scroll wheel. You've got this area here, which is the timeline of where your frames will be. This is where all your drawings and layers will be. We've got the node view, which is something scary in itself we'll get to later. Your tools and everything in your library are here, which we don't need those for now, but I will cover them at some point. Here you've got your tools, which any other program like Adobe ones or just, any app. And then again up here with all these bits. So, your main tools to draw with, you've got a brush, which if you go to tool properties up here, if it's not, you can right click and you can add one. Actually, sorry, no, that you click this. I'm already off to a bad start, and you can add one of your tabs in. Same with on these, you can drag them around if you wish, but I just leave them where they are so I don't get confused. So if you click on tool properties after clicking a brush, then you can change its size and what width and stuff you do. My art style doesn't really use other pen types, it's just thick outlines, so I don't touch that. So with a brush, if we zoom in, it's on size 10 in a minute. This is how it'd look. You can do that and that. You can do all sorts of it. Now the thing is, I personally use a pencil tool, and I would recommend to do that. You can have it as the same size settings as a brush. You can do anything with that, you can change it. But because if you do a brush and you do a pencil, if you click this white cursor here, well, if you click the black one first, you can move it around like this. If you click on it, you can like drag it around, resize it. If you make sure you clicked on it, you can use arrow keys. If you hold shift and use the arrow keys, you can move it around easier. And yeah, you can move the pivot point too, like this. If you click this white dot in the middle, this is the pivot point. If you then go here, this will appear if you're on the corner. You can rotate it from the pivot point then. So if you're trying to animate an arm, for example, this will be very useful. So you don't have to like rotate it from the middle like that, because then it'll be a lot more smoother looking. But if you click on the white one here, this can be used to, how do I word this? I know how to explain or show things. It's just some words I don't know how to use or to describe stuff. I think these are just pivot points here, so you can drag them around. With the brush, it will do this though because it's a paintbrush line. If you click pencil, you can morph the lines like this. So for me, and probably a lot of others, using a pencil tool is probably better for you. Because you can just you can do a lot with this. You can add in more pivot points too by pressing Alt. Holding Alt and pressing down, you can create a point. So I personally would recommend the... Oh, sorry, yeah. If you have the black cursor selected, you can highlight or circle things, and then you can just do whatever with that. So we'll be using the pencil tool. So we'll go to our first frame here. Make sure you're always at the frame. You can change which frame you're at down here on this bit here. Your start frame. This red bit here is how long your animation actually is. And then this bar here, it can be a bit tricky to click. You can see it when the mouse has got like a little bar like that. I actually find it easier to do this with a mouse rather than my pen. It's a bit hard to do. How can I... You can probably tell it's a bit hard because of how I'm doing... There you go. This will change how long your animation loops for. So if you click this icon here, this will make sure your animation loops. Now, we've not got anything on screen at the minute, so it won't. But you can see here, that's making it loop there. So wherever this is placed is how long it'll play for. But when you export the animation, it will go up to whatever frame is the final one, but you can change that, and we will get to that. So I'm not going to do something too brilliant here, it's just to help you learn stuff. So I'll just draw like this. one of my characters just in my style. Um, I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of other people probably think this too, but drawing the head or the eyes for me is the hardest part of the entire character. Because, again, here's how you move it with that. Um, it's quite difficult and annoying. Right, so, if you've drawn shapes like this, you'll probably be like, oh, I want to erase it now and fix it. With a pen, with the brush tool, that'll be fine, because you can do this, and you can just, like, shave bits off like that. However, with a pencil tool, if you try and do that, it'll cut it out differently, and that's probably going to annoy you. So if you click the white one again, the white cursor up here, what is that actually called? Because I just... Contour editor, I'm just going to call it the white one, because it's quicker. You can grab the points like this and move them around like that, so you can neaten it up. It's not really done a good job, but you can delete some of these. I wouldn't recommend deleting random ones. If they're in the middle like this, then you can do that, and you can just like drag it to make it a bit more round, but I'm making a bit of a mess doing that, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, if you've got lines like this that cross over with other ones, what you can do is you hold down on the black cursor up here, the select one, and it'll bring up a menu. If you click the cutter tool and then drag it across the line like that, it will get rid of it. So you can do it with just any line, really. If it doesn't know what it's trying to select, it'll just show the selection and you can delete stuff like that. So like that. But yeah, the cutter tool is very useful, so you then don't have to erase bits that stick out. So, to move around, I've not mentioned yet too, you might have picked up on it, but I haven't mentioned it. So, this glove icon down here, click that, you can move around your screen freely. You can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel, like I said, but this is just, like, when you're using a pen to draw on a tablet, it's just, you can scroll around like this. Whoops. Right. I'm just going to fix this bit here, make it connect. You want to make sure everything is connected for when you're colouring in. So, to make sure your lines are connected, because it's important you actually do this before you start animating stuff, press the K button on your keyboard, so just the letter K, it will show your line art. So, if there are yellow squares, that means the line is not connected to something. So like this right here, if I tried to paint, or sorry, colour in with the colour layer after, this wouldn't work properly because they're not connected. So what you do is just drag them like that. You can be a bit more messy and just paint it in like that to then connect them, but you don't want it to be a mess. And trust me, because I've done that in the past recently and it's made quite a mess. And, well, obviously. So you'll get lines like this too. You don't need those. You can clean them up. There is a tool that you can use to clean them up. I currently forgot where it is, which is another reason I don't want these videos public, because I'm probably going to get... probably ask why am I making tutorials when I don't know where most of the tools are, but you guys need help, and, I want to help people. So, there, these are all connected. Press K again, that'll get rid of it. So, I'm not even giving them any eyes yet. There we go. Make sure those are fine. To be honest, with the pupils on my characters, it doesn't matter. So, I'll give them a mouth. I'll just give them a really crude body as well. Doesn't need to be anything spectacular. I'm going to fix that bit. Okay. Yeah, just ignore the fact I just said how making a mess like this, and then I proceeded to do it, but I'm gonna get over the tutorial. So, we've got this now. I have drawn on the 16th layer and I have not realised, but that's good because I can actually show this now. If you hold down on the drawing, you can move it to a different layer, or not layer, a different frame. So I'm gonna drag mine to the beginning. But if you drag it like this, you'll notice this happens where this frame has been placed, or it's been keyframed, so it's along all of this, so we can just delete this, because you don't need that. However, if you place a frame down, or draw a frame, sorry, and you want it to go on for much longer, rather than copying it, you can just click to the bit you want to make the frame play until, press F5, and that will drag it to there. What you can do as well, so when you are copying frames, unless you don't want anything to be different on that frame, then do not copy it. What you want to do instead is select the select tool, the black cursor, select all of the drawing on the screen that you want to copy, Control C, go to the next frame, and then Control V to paste it back in. Because I'll demonstrate here. So if we just duplicate the frame, you can right click, you've got delete keyframe, insert keyframe, a bunch of bits here, drawing symbols. I've lost where it is. I do this so much where I can't find where bits are. If we just copy this frame by clicking on it, then right click here, that pastes it like that. There is a duplicate button that you might have spotted it. I'm very bad at reading. So if I just make this go to there, so that's the other frame. This is the first frame, and so is that one. You might want to, right? I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna confuse everybody if I do it like that. So with the arm, I'm just gonna try and animate this arm. A bit deformed. We'll make it do a bit of a wave, sure. Uh, delete that one, like that. So you've got the character doing that. There we go. Actually, use the pivot point that I taught you about, and you can do it like this. Or, if you don't want all these lines to be selected, hold shift on them. If you're a bit more zoomed in, hold shift on one, and it'll unselect one. But because I've made this entire thing one line, it's just like that. So just hold shift, and it'll select or deselect other lines. Right, I'm just gonna rotate it like that for now. Oh, have I selected someone else? You know what? I'm gonna leave it. So this guy is doing a bit of a silly wave. We want to make it so the arm moves again. So if you click onion skin here, which is this bottom bit here, which is like a red ball with an eye in it, press that and this will appear. So red is behind and green is in front. We don't need green in a minute, so you can just drag that in or out as far as you want. Red, it'll always start two in front, two in behind. We're just gonna make it one. You can change the color of these in one of these up here. I need to remember which one it was, but I just leave it as it is. Unless you've got specific colors for the characters that you end up drawing later on, I just leave it like that. So you can see where the arm actually is on this frame. But keep in mind, this is this frame that I copied. I didn't copy the drawing, I just copied the frame. So if you can put two and two together, if I was to move this frame to be up here, like the other arm, to make an animation, it moves it on the first frame too, because we copied the frame, not the drawing. So if I just undo that, delete this frame, you can then select the drawing on the previous frame, then paste it on the next one. Then you can rotate it. His back is currently broken, or his chest, I guess, is broken right now, so I'm just gonna move that back. There we go, a bit deformed, but he's got the spirit still. So if we drag this down a bit here and press play, wow, an animation, isn't that cool? So that's quite a mess. So that's how you create animation in Toon Boom. Put that there, right. I'm hoping that has got the colour or the line art connected. I probably spoil what we're going to do now. Right, colour. So you've got here, you can add, this is where all your layers are. You can add other layers into this, as seen through here. So this is your line art layer, which is what we've drawn here, and this is your colour layer. So if you've been using Adobe Animate or other programs, I'm not really sure because I've only used Adobe Animate before this one, and other iPad ones, but usually you would probably do your drawing layer and your color layer as separate ones, as like layers down here in the layer section, but no, it can actually all be stored in one drawing here. So what you do for that, you would go to this option here where it's a white line with 3 arrows pointing down to a blue curved line. This is the add drawing layer. Create color art from line art. So make sure you're on the line art layer, click that, and then if you go to your color one, it's now created lines on it. So it's like it pretty much copied it and pasted it down to the color layer. So if we go down to here, your palettes are down here. I don't know why it's so small. I'm trying to like click it here. So if you drag this up, so in this section here you've got your palettes where all your colors are. So if you click this here or create a new color, you can actually drag this off the window. So I can just drag this anywhere onto my desktop if I wanted. As you can see, it's changing colors in the box here. So if you've got like a reference sheet, you can just drag the colors in from that easily here. So I'll just get this green color here. You can name it whatever here. So light green, and then yeah. So we've got that one. So there is a fill bucket here. It's right here. you click that. Make sure you're on your color layer because you can fill bucket your line art, but you don't want to do that because then that'll get in the way of you animating. You only color on the color layer. So, unless it's like a pupil or something, but if we paste in now, there we go. We're making a little alien character, I guess. You've got white up here, so these colors here are default. They will be there in every Toon Boom file you create. You've got black, white, red, green, blue, and vectorized line. And then you can just add whatever or delete whatever. Make sure you don't delete the color you were using to draw the lines. Usually it'll be on black or vectorized, and then you can drag them around if you want. Just move them about. But yeah, do white for that, for the eyes. And then if you click, you can do K on this as well to bring up and remove the line art. The line art will be automatically on when you click color. Click layer, and there you go, there's our little character. So, oops, turn that off. So you will have to press it again on here, and then again on there, so you can add the color art for each frame. So, we'll just do that. Paste in like that. Now, there is a quicker way to make this color paste on all frames of your character, but I will show that in the next tutorial because for now we've just got 3 frames. So if we drag that to there we go, look at that little character. Someone should name him for me because I don't know what it's going to be called. Yeah, I think that's where I'll stop for this first one. Hopefully that's helpful. If it's, I know I like mumbled and like stuttered on a bunch of words and got stuck with how I wanted to explain stuff, but this isn't scripted. I just kind of just sat down and was like, you know what, I'm going to record a tutorial now. So I'm hoping that was good. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know, and I'll make sure to explain stuff that you'll need because stuff will get complicated soon. If you know what the node view is, here it is. We're going to be using that at some point, but hopefully by the end you'll think it's easy, because I do now. But yeah, that'll be all for now. Thank you for watching, hope it helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye!